a button pusher today.
No button pusher tonight.
So
Welcome to Jtwes Monday Night Live. I'm sure some commercials are playing right now, and we'll give it all a second to get caught up. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Sorry, I was a minute late, 2 minutes late, maybe. Time just slipped past us tonight, and appreciate everybody being here. Who we got, Lena? You said there was some comments already.
Yeah.
Bunches of folks.
Yeah, Mark Young's on.
Hey, Mark.
Brian is on.
Hey, Brian. Glad you got that hopper figured out.
Says, good evening. Hope you're doing well. Just got off my tractor from planting purple whole peas.
Yeah, I ain't been too far behind you as far as getting off the tractor myself. That's kind of why we're a little bit late.
Let's see. Who else? Joey Neal's on.
Hey, Joey.
And Paul is on.
Paul.
It's a good thing it's actually 8:30 this week. It was all I could do to get done in the garden and get in here. Everything has started to get watered now, too.
Yeah, I totally know. You know, and I'm guilty of this, too. Sometimes I think, okay, you know, this ain't the only time zone in the United States. And then I think, well, you know, 8:30 to 9:30, you know, it seems real late to me or late to us. But and I totally know. I said, well, you know, we got folks out in Louisiana and Texas and out that way, and it's not that late for them. I mean, it's 7:30 for them out there.
Elliot Lindsay's on.
Hey, Elliot Lindsay.
Says, hey, everybody, just finished planting some squash and watermelons.
Yeah, I just finished planting a little bit myself. Not no squash. I planted some cucumbers and some peaches and cream corn. Put it in the ground.
Paul Ford says, hope all is well. Severe thunderstorms yesterday and today with wind, hail damage, and tornado warnings. Electricity out yesterday and today, but we're hanging in there.
Yeah, it's that time of season. Man, tornadoes and storms and everything in between, it seems like.
Yeah. Cornbread is on.
Cornbread?
And don't start cornbread. All they say is Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, cornbread, and we got a pork chop.
Yeah, don't
For
start.
too long, we're going to have a whole meal watching. I just need somebody named Sweet Tea and we'll be all right.
David Waldrop's on. Says, hello, Joey and Leno. I have a question. When you are cultivating, what are the two plows behind the rear tractor tires used for?
Well, to, you know, any grass that may be in that part of the row, and obviously to get your tire tracks back out. I'm not going to say it really helps a lot with compaction, but it may help a little bit. I'm sure you're still going to have a certain amount of compaction there. But, you know, mostly grass and stuff like that. And the style that I use because they hold the tractor in the row better. They're kind of cupped out. And it helps, you know, as far as cultivating a little bit until you do need to go out of the row a little bit, and it kind of, you got your steering wheel cocked. But we won't lay it by with those. We'll lay it by with some sweeps.
Laura's on.
Hey, Laura.
And Stan is on. He says, in the wings, quotes, I guess, waiting in the wings.
Yeah, hey, Stan.
And D. Mickey Meredith is on.
D. Mickey Meredith, that sounds familiar.
Says, hi, folks. William May is on.
William May, hey, buddy.
Roger and Tina Thorson from North Dakota.
Hey, Roger and Tina. So it's probably, what, 6 o'clock there?
Yeah, I don't know their time frame. IP Farms is on.
Hey, Nelson.
And Orbra.
Orbra.
John Gary Riley says hello.
Hey, John Gary. Orbra, there's a Love's truck stop getting built somewhere north of Winston-Salem, I guess on 74 there. And I think I may have to go work at that thing some next week.
Greg Mosier.
Hey, Greg.
And Carl Smith.
Carl Smith.
Chet Hodges.
Hey, Chet.
Says it's raining tonight in South Georgia.
Yeah, I think it's coming this way, Chet.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a rainy day tomorrow.
Yeah. How many is in right now?
Are on the live, yeah. 82.
All right. Well, it's 82 of y'all guys in here, and I know some more people will come in. I noticed nobody said yet, why do I have a John Deere hopper and a little John Deere tractor here? Guys, this is in memory of Scott, with Scott Small Farming and Things. Many of you know him, and some of you may not, because you may not follow his channel. He got killed about a week ago in a bad car accident. And he really meant a lot to us, really meant a lot to our boys. And I know my boys meant a lot to Scott because I could always tell how he would jump on me and tell me not to get on the boys for this or that, you know. So I could tell they meant a lot to him. So
yeah, Scott was a big defender of the Jtwes portion.
yeah, and I just thought, I don't know, I just thought I'd just have a little John Deere color in here tonight for the live for Scott, and that's what it's for.
Let me see if I can go back to the, hold on. Sorry, I'm off my list tonight. This 30 minutes has just changed my life, obviously.
Yeah, not a good game.
Well, because I was in mid-conversation with Kaylee, and I had no idea. It was like 10 till we were supposed to be out here. So I had to hurry up, and so I didn't have my mind frame right. But I'm getting there. Let me see. Timbo says, howdy, neighbor.
Hey, Timbo.
I bush hogged all day. Thank goodness for ibuprofen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. Ugh. I would need it definitely for that.
That depends on if he was in a cab or not.
Oh, I'm sure he wasn't. Timbo seems like not a cab type of person.
Bye, Kaylee.
Bye, y'all. Be careful. Bear Leah Farms is on.
Bear Leah Farms. Hey, guys.
It says potatoes are up, corn is up, wheat is good. 2024 gardening season going well in Kentucky.
All right.
Hope all is well down your way. So Bear Leah is Kentucky.
Yeah.
Okay. And Broom Farms is on.
Broom Farms. Hey, guys.
Hey,
Bye,
Elliot.
Ellie.
Hi, Elliot. Bye, Elliot. We had the whole crew here today.
Yeah. It's my daddy's 80th birthday today, and we had hamburgers and hot dogs and
some cake.
a little bit of cake.
And we just had family time.
Yep.
So all the kids come over, and so he had, half the grandkids here.
Yeah, he had half of them.
But yeah, so he's 80 today, and so we just had a little get together and some dinner. Low key, of course, but it was good.
Does he not realize
he enjoyed it?
How loud that muffler is?
He doesn't realize how loud it is.
And he's just gonna sit there.
Oh yeah, he's gonna check his phone now. Talk to Kaylee for a little bit.
Middle of a live stream.
Well,
I'm just gonna sit in the car a little bit.
You raised that one. You raised the middle one.
Yeah, but if he looks like you.
No, that does not apply.
Yes, if they look like you, they act like you.
We have to debunk that myth of if they look like you, they act like you all the time. So it's not true. Broom Farms, I think I already said them. And Mark says, I think everyone's been busy farming this evening. Haggy Farms is on.
Hey, Haggy Farms.
Carrie Nix.
And did you say Broom Farms?
Uh-huh.
I missed that. I was waiting for Ellie to take off.
Do you want me to go out there and bang on the glass?
No,
Say, will you move it?
Maybe Will text him.
Well, I don't know.
Will, text your brother and tell him to put it in gear.
Oh, I think he is now. There he goes. They're headed out, which they probably can't hear it.
Yeah.
I don't think they can hear it. Carrie Nix is on.
Carrie?
Uh-huh.
Hey, Carrie.
It says, hello from Texas. How's the Jimmy Red? Don't ask about the Jimmy Red, okay?
Well, Carrie.
Let's just not talk about the Jimmy Red.
I was surprised, and, I know not everybody watches my videos all the way through. I wouldn't be that naive to think they do. But I was surprised nobody commented on the last video, because at the end of the video, I was talking about going to take a sneak peek at the Jimmy Red and look at it. And I did. And I didn't look at much. I looked at about 20 plants that were about this tall and thousands of little green dried up plants that were pulled out of the ground. So it's just, I don't know what it is. That field is, it's in an area where there's 40 acres. Maybe not 40 acres, but it's a good, I don't know, 15, 10 maybe. 15 acres of open fields just all around it. And then you got that one planted spot. And so, I think it's just a Crow International Airport. They just flying over and see that and like, whoa, let's go in here and look. I talked tonight on a video about it, and I'm going to look into seed treatment, because I know we can do fences and I know we can do fake crows and And a buddy of mine, Scott Rayleigh, we were talking about it today, and crows are pretty smart. They figure out fake crows after a couple years. They figure out fences after a couple years. They figure out all the tricks. But what they don't figure out, and what they really are scared of, is when they're sick for about 3 days straight. And there's a company, Avian or something, I can't remember the name, but you can get it at agri stores like Southern States. May have to get somebody to get it for me, I don't know. But coat the seed with it, plant it, and it will make them sick as a dog for 3 days very quickly. That was asking me about the Jimmy Red.
Yes, thank you. Kurt T is on.
Hey, Kurt T.
Good evening from Southeast Louisiana.
Southeast Louisiana.
Hope all is well. We're fixing to get some bad weather in half an hour.
Oh, I hope you don't too bad, Kurt.
Hopefully it'll be over-talked.
Yeah.
You know, because that happens a lot, even here, where, you know, oh, this afternoon's going to be bad, it's going to be sketchy. Have your batteries, have your, all this and that.
Yeah.
And then it's like not even a terrible thunderstorm. It's just, things change so quick.
And that's sad because, if we embellish something a little bit, we get more ratings, people watch TV more. And I mean, I just wish they wouldn't do that. I mean, if it's bad, I want them to tell us bad. If it's not going to be that bad, it's not going to be that bad.
And then I get bad about not believing it, so I'm not going to take it seriously if they're saying, oh, you're in a tornado watch, because...
Yeah, unfortunately, the news part of the media is such slant biased stuff kind of overlaps the weather, and people don't pay attention to the weather because of the other half of it, and you're like, just forget it all.
Butterfly Farms is on.
Hey, Butterfly Farms.
They just got done cultivating the corn.
Uh-oh, yeah.
And Pat Doka's on.
Hey, Pat.
It's 5:30 for him.
5:30, yeah. See, I mean, so it would have been like 5 for him earlier.
Cajun Homestead's on.
Cajun Homestead.
They said supposedly 2 tornadoes touched down near Lake Charles, Louisiana, a couple of hours ago, flipped trucks on I-10.
Oh, man.
Well, and that's another thing, is the bad storms we've had, like the one that destroyed the woodshed and the old tractor shed. I don't think they were even calling really for thunderstorms that day. It just come up so fast.
Yeah.
And they said it wasn't a tornado, but it was just the
straight line winds.
Yeah, or downforce winds is what they were calling it. It's like straight line downforce winds.
Yeah.
So it really wasn't a tornado. I guess it more happened at ground level, not coming from the sky like a tornado does.
Sometimes I wonder if that is labeled what they are for insurance purposes. Wouldn't surprise me.
I'm not a fan of any insurance company.
Yeah.
With our life experience has taught me not to be a fan of insurance companies.
Yeah.
I mean, you do need to have it, but it just seems like you have to beg and steal and plead to get what you've paid for 25 years to them without an incident. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I know everybody can feel that.
They have one commandment, and it's loss mitigation.
Yeah. Allison's on.
Hey, Allison.
Hey, Allison.
Allison, what I sent you was just wondering, I emailed it to you if you could put that on a patch and put it on a hat. It's thinking about getting us some hats for work, so it would be for my work is what it would be for. I hadn't had a chance to, I sent her the logo for work.
Oh, okay.
And Stan, before I forget, those arms are correct. They are not backwards. They're correct. Don't swap them.
Ross Brown is on.
Hey, Ross.
Thank you for going live. Building and filling a new garden bed this week.
All right. I like garden beds. I wouldn't mind having a little garden bed for some salad stuff. Mm-hmm. Couple of garden beds for some salad stuff.
Is that where you have the wood on top?
Yeah.
Like it's above ground?
Yeah, beds above ground, and you got most times some real rich, nice dirt in there.
When we retire and get to live in a condo, we'll make one. Where we don't have to mow our own grass, and
I don't know
we
about
can
that.
we can get pizza delivered.
Yeah, but by then we can live right here, and we can get grandkids to do the grass.
I don't know. Well, we got some time to figure all that out, hopefully. Johnny Edgerton's on.
Hey, Johnny.
says, good evening. Thomas and I got in a little while ago from chopping some weeds.
All right, Thomas. Thomaston, chop some weeds tonight.
Yeah, and I love little Thomas. His daddy teaches him everything.
Oh, yeah.
You know, anything Johnny can do, Thomas can do too.
Rides that tractor like it's
I know, I love it. Larry Terrell is on.
Hey, Larry.
Hi from Larry in Reedsville. Janice Dalton.
Hey, Janice.
Hey, Janice. Nikki is on,
Hey, Nikki.
which is Bauer's brother's farm.
Yep.
IP Farm says, if you do stop by, Joey, you will be all over the farm. So if you stop by IP Farm.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, I got to go. I was up that way today, I think. Was it that way?
In Archdale, right?
Yeah.
Or High Point.
Yeah, I was up at High Point today.
Let's see. And Allison's saying IP Farms has a nice logo going on.
He does. He's got a real nice logo. And guys, Allison does, if any of y'all follow his channel, Allison does his merch too. She does his hats and shirts and whatever he's got on his merch store. And so if y'all follow his channel and hadn't seen that yet, y'all please check it out.
James Kelly is on.
Hey, James.
And the Thorsons say, sorry for your loss of your dear friend.
Yes.
And
Yep.
IP Farm said they had the honor of helping carry him home.
Amen.
So that's good.
So Nelson, I guess Nelson got to go down there today?
To the
Funeral?
funeral.
Yeah.
Let me just pick out the comments about Scott first, okay?
Oh, okay.
Carl Smith says, Lord be with you and all their family. My prayers for me and my family. And Mark is saying sorry to hear about Scott.
Yeah.
And Nikki says, yes, that John Deere green and yellow looks good. And let's see, it might be past those. But yeah, just, I just wanted to make sure we read those kind of together.
One of the last comments I put on one of Scott's videos was he was showing something in his tractor shed, and there was an IH hopper in his tractor shed. And I commented that I seen a unicorn in his tractor shed. And he, of course, laughed at it and stuff. But so that's the reason why the hopper's here.
Yeah.
I thought that would be fitting. But it's, just something to think about. But soybean farmers real close to him, guys. And I know a lot of you watch his channel. And so y'all keep soybean farmers in your prayer. And, of course, Scott's
And
kids.
his son, Stephen, yeah.
And he had a sister, I think, may have stayed with him, lived with him, looked after his corn a lot, pulled a lot of weeds out of his corn.
Yeah.
And so,
and I'm sure they'll just, band together and have it all taken care of, and, we sent some messages saying, let us know if there's anything we can do. We're about an hour from there.
And I think Matt, Farm All 51, he's pretty close to him, and I think he told him to let him know if he could do anything.
Yeah, good. IP Farm said, thank you to Allison. Y'all did amazing on the logo.
Oh, thank you.
On their logo.
IP was telling Allison that.
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
And it does look good. I noticed the difference. And Mark says, happy birthday, Mr. Jones. Yeah, Joe's dad's name is Marvin, if you all want to give a birthday message for him. He watches Joey on Mondays with Laura. Timbo says, no cab, just me and the bugs.
Uh-oh.
I told you. I said, no, Timbo don't have a cab. I could just feel it.
Oh. Yeah, because I said if he was in a cab, he wouldn't be in a headache. Yeah.
His personality, he hasn't been in a cab-driven tractor, kept. Pork chop's on.
Hey, Pork Chop. We got cornbread, we got Pork Chop now.
No, we didn't have cornbread.
No, you said there was somebody named Cornbread on earlier.
No, it wasn't cornbread.
I could have swore you said cornbread, and I said all we need now is Pork Chop, and we got a meal.
It was some other food, I think.
No, I'm pretty sure you said cornbread, baby.
I don't remember.
Oh, well. You're going to lose your spot looking for it.
But it's all right. Oh, it is cornbread. I'm sorry.
Okay, I thought I told you. I mean, there's not too many screen names like
I
cornbread
know.
and Pork
I'm sorry. It's just cracking me up.
So we just need sweet tea now and banana pudding.
Yeah, maybe that's what you saying. Sweet tea made me think it was something with the tea.
No.
Okay, all right. Yeah, David says it's not loud on the stream. Elliot's car.
Oh. Whew.
That's what I was saying. Usually, what's loud is what's on these microphones. which is
Yeah,
closest
I
to
mean, I
my
guess it
mouth.
was pretty, but it depends on what decibels I got them set on, because sometimes they can be real loud.
Yeah, especially when I whisper directly into them.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're ever seeming too loud, let us know. Which they could always just turn their phone down. Warhorstead is on. It's Mike and Michelle. They say hi from southern Missouri.
I'm going to say hello, Mike and Michelle.
Yeah, Mike and Michelle. But he won't remember that next time. We'll
Well,
only see your
I
screen
can't
name.
pronounce the
Warhorstead. Well,
Warhorstead.
that's close enough.
Okay.
So thanks for saying hey, Mike and Michelle.
Yes, thank you guys.
Allison says, Barrett will be glad to take care of your crow problem.
Yeah, and that's, a lot of people, Allison, I'm just, working all day. I'm not around.
And you did attempt to take care of it, but they are eagle-eyed. And
oh, yeah, I'd have to be
they were
up
gone before he could even really get.
Yeah, I'd have to be on top of that barn. But
Yeah.
the stuff that I read.
You had to do sniper.
Yeah, the stuff that I read about this seed coating, guys, I mean, they showed a field with it and a field without it, and that field that had it on there, it didn't look like it was missing a lick, and the one that didn't have it was halfway eat up. So, I just think that would be just a good permanent solution, and quit playing with dead crows and tape and strings, and plant it, coat it, plant it, let them eat it, and let them get sick, and they'll leave it alone.
Brian says, County ASCS office checked my potatoes today and found no issue with them. Just had hot day, leaf burn, and turned them yellow. All plants now, after the rain, has turned full green again.
I told you, you just burn it with that ammonia nitrate, Brian. Yeah, he showed me the picture of it, and he asked me what it was, and I said, I don't know. Maybe it was fertilized. It wouldn't be the first time I've burnt some plants up with fertilizer, so that's the reason why I said that.
Sorry. Martin Farms is on.
Hey, Martin Farms.
Says, good evening, Jtwes family. Planted more Jimmy Red corn today.
Everybody's planting Jimmy Red except me.
Right. I mean, you brought up all this Jimmy Red, and yours is the one getting eat up.
Well.
Or gone.
I did plant one roll today. One little roll. Lena decided we had enough green beans, and we got 150 quarts of probably somewhere around there. And she said, let's just hold off on green beans this year. We're good. And like I said, we don't eat 150 quarts by no means, guys. We eat, what, 20, 30?
I don't even make them like once a week.
Yeah,
it's not like I made them once a week or anything.
Yeah,
so.
and there really are kind of reserve food is the reason why I like canning them. So we skipped this year. And I had that one row left out here in this garden here, and I said, okay, we'll hopefully get one good roll of Jimmy Red, and that'll give me enough fresh seed, because I always run about 2 years behind on my seed, and that way I'll have that seed for when that, Lord willing, that comes along.
Mark says, we used to cut up old water hoses into 3-foot lengths and throw them around in the cornfield to look like snakes.
Yeah, I bought some rubber snakes last year, and that.
But he says they figured that out too.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm just gonna go the chemical way and make them sick.
Well, Mark Moore feels your pain. Says, good evening, y'all. Came home this evening and the crows took all but 4 stalks, replanted right away.
Well, you'll be watch this video coming out. I guess it'd be probably maybe Wednesday. I think you're going to be thoroughly surprised on what crows were able to do. I think you'll be amazed on the size of a plant that they were able to pull up.
Mm-hmm. They're just getting stronger nowadays.
Oh my goodness.
They've been working out. Timbo says, crow deterrent, pew pew. And Paul says the crows won't figure out the remote control hole puncher. But they will, because you can't even get to them close enough before they're gone.
And I agree.
You'd have to do a stealth mission, like hide in the barn.
I don't have time to do that.
Oh, I know.
I have to plant it, and I have to go. And come back, hopefully in a week or two, and cultivate it, and so on and so forth.
The W is on.
The W.
It says, hey, y'all. And Brent Sapp is on.
Brent Sapp.
Says, good evening, Jtwes family, joining in from Louisville, North Carolina, just west of Winston-Salem.
Louisville, West Winston-Salem. Okay. Oh, yeah, I did apartment complex up there. Okay, I know where you're at.
Janice says, God still controls the weather.
Yes, he does.
And Sundowner Whoop Whoop is on. Says, good evening, folks. We had some very bad wind and rain here along Interstate 10. Trucks blowed over, no electricity, but I'm dedicated. Thank you, Sundowner.
He is dedicated.
So we got to make this really entertaining because they have no other entertainment but us.
I know, but he's using his last battery.
I know. I can't handle that kind of pressure.
Battery in his phone to watch us.
Yeah.
You got a cell phone tower up somewhere.
Yeah. But then he can't charge his phone.
Yeah, that well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, I meant to charge my batteries tonight and I forgot.
Stan says, please, no condos. That is divorce talk. Look, I mean, I'm not going to say I wouldn't take a condo in Florida.
Yeah.
And if Joey don't want to come with me, all right, then it's divorce talk. So, let's see. Sundowner says, 25,000 out of electricity.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And Gurney is on.
Hey, Gurney.
He's always dedicated to telling our people to hit that like button.
Yes, he is.
Thank you, Gurney. And William May says, happy birthday, Mr. Jones.
Thank you, William May. I'm sure Daddy appreciates that.
Cornbread says, Joey is right. David Cannon is cornbread. I thought that picture, because I get used to their little pictures on here.
Uh-huh.
And I thought his picture was familiar, but cornbread is new to me. So I was like, I'm just thinking of somebody else. So yes, it's David Cannon.
Okay.
Now, David, not saying we're going to remember that next week when you log in as cornbread.
Yeah, you're probably better off as cornbread.
Yeah.
As far as my memory is.
Sundowner says, the word of prayer is good at times like we're in, and sorry for y'all's loss of friend. Thank you, Sundowner.
Oh, you're welcome, bud. Thank you.
Let's see. Hold on. Tim Izell is on.
Hey, Tim.
Says, hello, Joey and Lino. IP Farm says, the crows are having a field day with my regular field corn too, Joey.
Oh, yeah.
They don't care what kind of corn it is. They'll eat it up. Sundowner says, my potatoes are very sad this year, but got to go with the flow.
Yeah, my potatoes is pretty good. I put some of that special baking flour on them the other day to get rid of some of the bugs that were coming on them. We didn't put much on them. We just lightly dusted them a little bit. And well, I'm telling you, that stuff works overnight. They're gone. Next day, gone.
Mark says you're feeding the local livestock with Jimmy Red, Joey.
Evidently, there's a lot of happy crows out there,
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I'm sure they're just looking plump and shiny. They got great feathers. I mean, they're looking good. Jay Pill says, hi to you all. Hope you all are well. Looking forward to some rain for a change here in Yorkshire from the UK.
Oh, wow.
You need rain because usually, it's kind of rainy there. Speaking of UK,
Oh, here we go, JPL.
there's breaking news. Today was announced that there will be a new movie of Downton Abbey. Movie 3, Allison, is coming in next year. So I'm really excited.
So outside of Allison, I wonder how many subscribers right now.
Stan's seen all of Downton Abbey.
Oh, so you think he'd be one that'd be saying yes?
Maybe. Or give me and Stan something to talk about.
So JPL,
He's well-rounded.
JPL will like it. Allison will like it.
He's well-rounded. He'd like to have something to talk to about me, too. Yeah, because me and Megan and Will and all the kids, we were already in there having a whole discussion, talking about characters we hate, we love, and it was just good. All right, back to the comments.
And JPL, it's late over there. We were talking about you before the live, and I got curious, and I looked up on my phone what time it was in London, and I said, man, he's up late.
Yeah, Mark says, I've seen some crows that look like chickens. They're so big.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
And Will says, you should train a hawk to take them out. Paul says that Jimmy Red is doing pretty good here so far. I'll send a few ears over.
You better watch it, Paul. What I seen on the Silver Queen, it is not safe until it's laid by just about.
Pork Chop says sacrificial corn poured next to the field has worked for me when I didn't have time to administer lead.
I've heard that. Yeah, I mean, I've heard that.
Because why would they pull up, like do a little bit of work when they can just go eat it?
Yeah, Scott Rayleigh with Rayleigh Farm and Field, he said that he does, when he plants the Hastings or Jimmy Red or whatever he plants, he does take just a bag of Walmart corn and just pour it along the edge of the field.
Yeah, I mean, you could even get, the corn you buy that's on the cob still.
Yeah.
Because that would make them work a little bit.
Oh, no, they don't want to work.
Well, but they would. That's still better than pulling it up just for one kernel.
Yeah, he's saying deer corn.
Yeah,
Cheap deer corn.
but that's what I mean is that dried deer corn on the cob, we could throw some out there, and I mean that would help. William A. says the Lord has had it planned before He told the sun to ignite. You're truly welcome. And Warhorstead says it's been raining here for 6 weeks. Finally, to just hill the potatoes. It was now or never. So they only got to hill potatoes now. Oh, Sundowner, down to 14% battery.
What was William A. talking about?
I think you had thanked him about Scott's passing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Sundowner. I mean, I wonder if he's like us, how we could charge the phone, just crank up the vehicle and plug it in.
I'm sure he could.
So plug that thing in a car somewhere.
I'm sure he could.
Timbo says, I'm like Joey, here we go. With the Downton Abbey.
Oh, yeah.
And we were talking about that because we weren't sure if I was going to bring it up because I was like, ooh, I could talk about it on live because I knew Allison would be on here.
Well, she said if Jay Peel comes on, I'm going to mention it.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, it's not just Jay, it's Jtwes. So, and I never bring anything up. So,
oh, I don't mind. I've watched the show, guys. It's not that bad.
Pat says, have to plant early in Arizona. My corn is making ears and tomatoes are starting to turn.
Yeah, Pat, you're like, I seen Danny at Deep South show some storm damage on his corn, and golly, well, as tall as that corn is, it's still got a little bit more before it tassels out, but it was already almost as tall as him. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's big corn. I'm like, golly, I'm trying to get it to sprout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't, with him.
But there's people in Michigan probably hadn't planted corn yet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all relative to where you're at. I mean,
it's regions,
it's just regional.
However, the closer you are to the equator, the warmer your temperature.
I know, but I think the closer you are to the equator, I don't think it raises good stuff down there. I mean, I don't know. It just
That's where all your sugar cane comes from.
Yeah, no, I mean like
all your
corn.
coffee.
I mean like corn or wheat. I think some of that stuff needs some chilly weather and especially wheat. It needs colder weather, I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. Danny's on.
Hey, Danny.
Deep South Homestead says, put up a no-fly zone. It works great here after 23 got lead poison. They got the message and hadn't been back.
I just got to have the time to do that, Danny, and I don't. That's the
problem.
That's why we're going to invest into the seed coating business. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want something that will talk to them while I'm not there.
Which did you talk about?
And that'll work for turkeys too.
Mm-hmm. Did you talk about the fake crows?
Oh yeah, I did buy a couple of cheap fake crows just for this 6 rows of corn I planted tonight. I think if you've been watching the video, I held out 6 short rows for a couple 3 weeks to put some peaches and cream in it, and it's just for that. But that's not my big game plan for next year because, like I said, I got to get a farmer to probably buy it for me. I'm sure it's a licensed product, but I think we know a couple that can get it.
J. Pill says 2 a.m. here. Luckily, my day off today. Yes, and he says day off, but he's just a night off.
It's not your day off. It's a holiday.
Yeah, well, that's if you're going somewhere or it's like a vacation.
Yeah. Holidays if you're actually going somewhere.
Well, yeah, your vacation is a holiday.
Yeah, vacation's holiday.
Like we're going to take a Memorial Day holiday.
Yeah. Well, no, it could just be they went on vacation and it's a holiday. Don't have to be a real holiday.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying we're taking a holiday because we're gonna not work those days,
Oh, okay.
right?
Well, I guess.
Because we'll have guests, so we're not gonna work, and we're going to take holiday. Pat Doka says next month it will be 110 degrees,
Ooh, ooh.
and Roger's on.
Hey, Roger.
Cajun Home says we're digging potatoes here already.
I won't be too far behind you on digging potatoes. I mean, it's not next week or anything, but I mean, I seen a few flowers on them the other day. I need to get my onions up and get them dried out.
And Sundowner does make a good point. Y'all do know that it's from the deer hunters' fault because they're not feeding the deer, so the crows are hungry. They don't have deer corn out, and the crows eat that quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
And we have really probably cut deer hunters in half, I'd say, in the last 10 years.
Well, for me too, in my scenario, from where we're at right now, Roger's, he's 2 miles away, but there is no crops being raised around us. There's no wheat, there's no corn, there's no nothing.
So if you do have something, they hit it hard because that's all they've got.
That's the only thing in a 5-mile radius just about outside. Roger's got a couple of little patches of corn here and there too. But, just little gardens here and there, not no like it used to be.
Well, and that's why the deer hit our stuff so hard, and the soy fields that
Oh yeah,
Sam
I've seen
has.
them. I never would have
The
thought they
soybeans.
could eat a 5-acre field of soybeans. Golly!
Yeah.
But when you got 10 of them out there at a time, it's like 10 cows.
Yeah. And then they're going to compete against each other. Hurry up, eat everything you can before this other one comes. So yeah, it's a problem. Timbo says, I'm in Upper East Tennessee. If you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's North Carolina's mountains is like that.
Yeah, sun, downpour.
Oh yeah.
You had a calm stream. Now you got the roaring rapids.
And that side of the mountain it's raining, and this side of the mountain the sun's on it.
Yeah, it's strange there. Paul says my silver queen, or this is Paul Ford, my silver queen is tasseling. Hail hit it pretty hard yesterday.
I hate that, Paul.
Yeah, we've had storms where the corn was laid down.
Yeah.
Like 2 rows of 4 were laid down, like the outside rows. Tim,
Oh.
go ahead. What were you
On
gonna
a bright note, my peach tree, this is one of these problems that's good to have. So my peach tree kind of leans a little bit anyway. It never grew straight up. It kind of grew at an angle. And it is so loaded, I had to take a 2x10, about an 8-foot long 2x10 out there and scotch it up under the tree because it is so loaded, it's leaning more and more and more. And then I took a couple of more scotches and put up under the biggest limbs and just give it something to lean on there because it is so, I've never seen so many peaches on one tree, Leno. Golly. I thought some of them would just kind of die off from attrition and not be getting what they need to be getting to be developed, and they die off. But it hasn't dropped that many peaches. There's a few, but it's keeping them all on the tree.
Tim says, my corn is almost ready to tassel, and sunflowers are knee-high. They're pulling sweet corn in Decatur, Georgia already.
Man.
And Jay Pill says, I don't know if this is him saying he works there or used to, but it says work in a walled garden that still has a big house with staff and a butler.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if, Jay Pill, you might need to just email me directly since nobody else wants to hear this type of information. Just send it to Jtwes1 and then he'll forward it to me and I'll give you my email address.
No, it's on there. It's Joey at Jtwes.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Roger says, it's nice to see some green and yellow on this set. Yeah, Roger,
Yeah.
This was for, because Roger got on not too long ago. Joey did this as a little bit of a tribute to Scott, who passed away this week, earlier in the week. I don't know if Roger knows about it or not.
I did. I told him.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roger, this is for Scott. Johnny Edgerton says, how is Elliot's truck doing?
It's doing good. It's actually here.
I know.
And it's
Things
going to
went
be
their way back
it's going to
here.
be in here, this actual room, tomorrow, because we got these lights and we can work on it some, after dark. But we're going to put a water pump on it and some rear brakes. You can hear the rear brakes when you back up. It's rubbing something in that drum. And I told Ellie, I said, just get a spring kit and some brakes and we'll put it on there. So we get that, the water pump squeaking a little bit, and we don't want it to leave them laying on the side of the road, but fully expected it. You know how it is, guys. You buy an older truck like that, it's very, very, very rarely that you're just going to get in it and go and drive and not have to adjust or tinker with anything. So we're going to work on it tomorrow. Take a V10 water pump off.
And Sundowner did say they're charging their phone now. So I guess in the vehicle.
Oh, cool. Good.
Let's see. Paul says almost all of my potatoes have flowers on them here.
Is that all, Paul?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And Stan says some of the absolute best sweet corn comes out of deep South Florida. Absolutely eat until you become ill. big business and massive fields.
Oh, yeah.
And
well, somebody from Florida got on here one night that raised thousands of acres of okra, didn't he?
yeah.
It was on our live.
Mm-hmm. And they're in Florida, right?
Yeah, I actually went to and looked at his videos, and yeah, he had big fields of okra.
That was their family business. I mean, and they supplied okra to probably 7 different grocery chains.
Yeah, he didn't have that many videos, but man, golly.
Well, he don't have time to make videos. I mean, you got that much okra.
Yeah.
You got to let the okra business pay, do your stuff. You don't have time for YouTube. Warhorse says, curious in England, do the magpies eat corn like the crows? Because those are birds that look very similar to crows.
Well, they in the crow family. They
the
cousins.
magpies.
Yeah, they're cousins.
Which I just would like a bird named Magpie. I mean, I would just like to have one. Even their crows are better than ours over there. Cajun Homestead. Oh no, he's talking to somebody else. Sundowner says our weather has been crazy.
Yeah, ours has been pretty good. It was just we're going through a little bit of a wet spell there, and it really didn't hurt me. We needed the rain. I mean, it wasn't nothing I really had to do. It pushed me a little bit on the sweet potatoes planting those, but we got them in the ground, and they've taken off. And to keep from us talking about deer, I got to get that electric fence come up. I got to get the electric fence up.
Right, deer will be our next
Yeah, because
problem.
deer, if I don't, deer's going to be the next subject, and I don't want that to be the next subject. So I got to get that fence up. I'm hopefully going to try to do it tomorrow. It's supposed to rain here tomorrow. Maybe by the time I get off work, it'll be, not raining as hard, or maybe not even at all. And we'll get the post in, and we'll do the 3D fence where we got 2 strings here and a string on the center. I know some people do 1 and 2. I did 2 and 1 last year, and that worked out great. So we'll do that again.
Paul says it's always entertaining, me going back and forth between the beach and mountains in North Carolina every week, seeing the difference in crops and how far along they are. Yeah, because everything's ready towards the beach, and it's, pushed back further as you go up to the mountains.
Yeah, I tried to find some videos of planting sweet potatoes on a bigger scale than what I do, because I know they use transplanters. I just wanted to see what they were using to do it. And I couldn't find a single video of, 2-row, 4-row transplanters. And I know those farmers down east use big 4-row planters. I don't know that they're Holland planters, but they're probably a finger planter. I don't think you'd be able to drop sweet potatoes like you do tobacco in cup planters that open up. It'd have to be a finger planter. Am I boring you?
No.
I mean, I didn't know if I lost you in translation.
Yeah. And Janice was just saying hey to Stan, wanting to meet him one day. Yeah, maybe next time Stan's in the state,
Yeah.
she can go too. And Stan tells her.
Stan probably ain't that far from where Allison's at, believe it or not. Just straight north from her, probably. I bet it's like.
Oh, did I
6
say
hours.
Allison? I meant Janice.
Oh.
Sorry. Guys, I'm just tired today. I had such a crazy weekend. I know it was Mother's Day, but I didn't even get to take a nap. I mean, just, so everything's choo, choo, choo everywhere. Yeah, we had a women's conference at church. It went really good. Speaking of church, John Briggs isn't on here tonight. I think we might be a little too late for John.
He may have been on earlier.
He wasn't. But yeah, we had a women's conference and it went really good. And then Sunday at church was just great. We had a lot of new people coming, and it's just been a really good experience there lately. But I think the work is starting to catch up with me a little bit on a Monday, not the weekend. Weekend I'm still okay, but Monday's just been kind of a crazy work day and just catching up. Let me see. Who did I miss?
Are you caught up on comments? Mm-hmm. Oh man, everybody slow tonight. Mm-hmm. We're all just reeling.
Yeah, I think everybody might be tired today. It may not just be me.
Yeah, speaking of church, we had a evangelist come in, and while he preaches, his wife does some chalk art on this board, and it's not distracting. It's really not distracting at all. She's drawing what he's preaching about, and towards the end, what made it so nice is it's black light chalk, and so you see whatever she drew, and you cut all the lights off, and you cut the black light onto that chalk drawing, and it's a whole nother hidden picture behind it. And a lot of time that, obviously that picture goes along with the sermon he was preaching, and it was just real. It was neat. I wasn't sure how much I would like it, but it really kind of brought the message home. Mm-hmm. You studying?
No, I'm fine. Joey Neal says, I used to run over my sweet corn seed with the lawnmower tire to pack it to make it harder for the crows to pull up. It worked most of the time. And that's what I was wondering. Like, can you bury it deeper
yeah.
to where it's more of a tug to get it out and they just can't?
Well, I don't see how. You guys, if I'm not telling you to go back and watch the video, but I will just say this. When I planted that Jimmy Red and we filmed it and everything, if you will really pay attention to that sword on that planter that I used to plant that Jimmy Red, it's a lot of the time I was at the top of the sword in the ground, so that means it was putting it this deep in the ground, which is really too deep. And they still pulled that up, and that, like I said, that corn probably was on the verge of not being able to break the surface because it had to come so far.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't know that depth really helps it that much. It may help, and I may have some people disagree here, but part of my problem, Scott Rayleigh, the corn that I plant, being what it is, just totally non-GMO and just not modified, not this, not that. He seems to think that the crows like that corn better than they do.
They might.
Your genetically engineered corn, because he said he's seen, the differences in them eating them.
Yeah, and that may be very well true, that they're going to come eat a lot more of that because,
Yeah.
I mean, we eat at a good restaurant. If one restaurant's better than the other, I'm going to eat at the good restaurant. And animals are just the same, too. Tim said something about the okra. If they had to pull that much okra, they'd go crazy, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I had 1 acre one time, and I have to break it every day. Yeah, well, but that huge farm, they've got machines.
He said he did it in stages. No, they picked it by hand.
Oh, yeah, but they had, of course, a lot of workers,
Yeah.
and they planted it in stages so that it's not all ready at the same time.
Yeah, he was constantly going.
Yeah.
And he said they did it, when they picked it, they picked everything. They didn't go back.
Oh, okay.
But it was in stages.
Yeah, I like to go back. I like to go out every day and because it's amazing how much they'll grow in one day. And so every day I would just go through the row, which I only had one row. It was like a little, I don't know, it's just like a little break. I wouldn't take my phone, wouldn't take anything. And I'd just go out there with my little clipper that I would just clip it off and gather them up in my little basket. And so I enjoyed going out there every day and doing it. But like I said, that's just one row. It wasn't a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see.
Oh, what is that?
Is that the bird?
Oh, I guess it's that bird with her nest.
Well, and we've got a nest here too. She may be waiting to get in here.
Right there.
Yeah,
Could be.
we're holding up a nest tonight.
She's going to get over it.
Yeah, Tim says the stuff almost worked me to death. I did sell enough to purchase 2 more Cub tractors. When the price dropped to 90 cents a pound, I bush hogged it. A month later, I had to cut okra again. J. Pill says mostly wheat, barley, carrots, and potatoes crops around here in England, so magpies and crows won't bother them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's true because those are going to be more, what would you call them? More robust crops. That,
well, I watched the channel Ollie's Farm channel or something like that, and he raised a lot of beets. Did he say beets?
No.
Yeah, he said he raised a lot of beets.
Wheat, barley, carrots, potatoes.
Yeah.
Danny says animal definitely know the difference between toxic corn like GMO and heirloom corn.
That's Brother Scott Rayleigh, the guy I got that seed from him. He pretty much, that's what he swore by. He said he's seen it before as far as, using cornmeal, fresh ground cornmeal versus cornmeal that has been heated to kill everything inside the cornmeal, so it's got a stable shelf life. There's a germ in there that they heated up hot enough where it kills that germ, and that same germ is what gives it the good flavor and the nutrition and stuff like that. And he said he's seen it firsthand. Put some of that out, they won't touch it, it'll mold, and put the other out, and they'll eat the dirt up.
Brian says the fertilizer hopper is fixed. Found that the outer gear on underbelly assembly had no teeth. So he found the problem.
Yeah, I studied that picture, Brian, but it didn't look much different from the one I got on the tractor, so that's why I didn't know if you got that figured out, because it looked about like mine does, to be honest with you.
Sundowner says, LOL, Lino, we dug our potatoes to beat the rain yesterday. And Cornbread, a.k.a. David Cannon. I'll remember that just for tonight's live, I'm sure. It says, the crows eat more of my sweet corn than they did the Jimmy Red. But then again, they might have been too busy in Joey's Jimmy Red. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they probably was. Goodness gracious.
Pat says, large okra gets too woody for me, like it's small and tender. Yeah, that's right, Pat. It's definitely a small window of time.
Yeah, the Star of David that we raise is great okra, but it does have a short window on.
Yeah, you have to get that off
spiny.
of there.
It'll get spiny real quick on you.
And then even the short ones that you're used to seeing that you think are tender like usual, they're not. Like they've got some spines in there, but it's not too many.
I think some of that depends on how much stress it's had on it. Like if it's had just a ton of hot, dry weather on it, I think it can prematurely cause it to spine up.
Yeah, which if I'm canning it, it's not a problem, because you canned it.
Yeah.
It's kind of pressure cook it so
last
hard.
Year, we cut some last year. It was like crunching almost. It was like
Yeah. Well, but those are the ones we let seed out.
Yeah.
You.
And by the way, the ones it all came up. What I planted with that earthway cedar a couple of weeks ago, every bit of it come up. I'll have to thin it out for sure, but I don't mind thinning it out. It's when it don't come up is what you don't want to see.
Well, I've got a couple people on here complaining about our friends.
Our friends?
Our raccoons.
Oh.
My problem with sweet corn is raccoons. They know when it's time to pull. And then Mark says him too. And Warstead says, so excited. I've been looking for a cub middle buster for 2 years now. I missed one about 3 months ago, but I finally found one, and it's on my trailer at home.
A middle buster?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
Paul says, I did starve David for the first time last year. Was amazed how massive they got till I tried cutting them up.
That's what I'm saying,
yeah,
Paul.
He's a hatcher. Yeah, no, yeah, you don't let them get that big.
Yeah, I liked it just because, it's an okra that I did on a video this year. Y'all seen it. And I split it open, let them seeds drop in a bowl, take them right out there and plant them.
Well, And imagine trying okra the first time not knowing that, and you're like, man, this is awful. Like it being that hard and spiny. Johnny Edgerton wants to know, did the watermelons come up?
They did, Johnny. So we need to go up there and we need to fertilize them. Need to cultivate them, fertilize them. It came out perfect, all the way down the road. Pretty as you please. Whole 3, whatever how many feet them rows are, it's full of watermelon.
So we got to keep those watered.
And so we still got to drive up there and cultivate at least that one row. And I don't know, since I'm up there, I'll probably show the corn, and I may some point this summer take the bush hog up there and bush hog over that whole field, and because we're going to try it again next year with some with a little bit of taste bud treatment.
Yeah, Paul said we tried stewing it up with some tomatoes, learned quick to pick them early. Yeah, and I do like them in tomatoes with some garlic, and if you add some water and let them boil down, it'll get rid of some of the sliminess. But Joey and the boys, Will eat it, but they don't want it any way that it's cooked, whether it's canned or boiled down with tomatoes.
Well, I'll eat it fried.
Well, yeah, y'all will eat it fried, but y'all will eat anything fried. I mean, that's just how it is.
Fried in some lard, and I'll take care of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll eat anything fried. Like, I like a lot of things like calamari. But it's fried. If it was like steamed calamari, I don't.
Octopus, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I don't think I would like it if it wasn't fried. It's me says, making me feel bad, y'all harvesting. I'm waiting to plant all except setting tomatoes and a few cucumbers.
I was going to say, don't feel bad.
You got
me.
time?
Everybody, like I said, we were talking about that earlier. Everybody's in different stages, and I guess that's why they have, I guess that's why the United States is split up into frost zones, planting zones, and zones for this and zones for that.
Well, and it doesn't even matter zones. Like, you could be planting your corn now and it'd be fine.
Well, no, you don't want to plant corn like we should be planting corn now at least, because the later it gets,
the more bugs,
the more worms get in that thing. Yeah.
So I mean.
But if you live in Michigan, you're fine. But if you're down there where Danny's at, no, you don't need to be planting no corn right now.
I just feel like it is completely burning hot when we've picked corn.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it can't get any hotter than that.
Well, I don't know what it is about it being early, because I know what you're saying. By the time it comes in July, it's burning hot. Why ain't there worms in it? I don't know why. If you wait later, they get in it.
Tim says, I was breaking my okra when it got to 2 and 3 inches. I plant Clemson. Daddy had some old-timey okra that would get to 10 to 12 inches and still be tender.
Oh, wow, that's good. That'd be good for canning.
It's like a cucumber. Okra-shaped cucumber.
Yeah, Crimson or Clemson, that okra's been around a long time.
Paul says okra with tomatoes with some bacon in it is hard to beat.
Yeah.
And Stan says they fry sticks of butter in Iowa. Oh, heart attack on a stick. Yeah, I never get the fried stuff at the fair.
Yeah.
Like a fried Snickers.
I get the turkey leg. That's about it.
Yeah, I always get some nachos because they give it to you in a big bucket.
But I don't. Yeah, I'm like you. I don't remember getting none of the crazy fried.
Now
stuff.
I might get a funnel cake. That's fried.
Yeah. Well, funnel cakes don't count. They've been around for years.
Oh, okay. Well, and I never had a fried Oreo, but I don't like Oreos, so I wouldn't like a fried one either, I'm sure. Because a lot of people are big on the Oreos. Yeah, but they do fried Snickers and fried Twinkies. I bet a fried Twinkie would be good.
Probably good.
Because Twinkie's just like cake to me with the icing on the inside. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah. Twinkies are good.
Yeah. Yeah, Tim says down here. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if he got to finish his sentence. Joseph Barker says, try roasting okra in oven, toss with olive oil, salt, and pepper. Joseph, that kind of sounds like what I want to do with the dehydrating or air fryer.
Well, he's talking like, doing it like some potatoes is what he's
Like,
talking
oh,
about.
I'm sure it'd be good, but I like okra.
Or like you used to do the asparagus all the time.
Yeah.
That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, because the only way I'll eat asparagus is roasting it in the okra like that, tossed with salt. I do some butter, salt, and some like allspice seasoning, and I get those things pretty well done in that oven before I eat the asparagus. But I would like okra like that too. I think
Yeah.
that'd be good. Paul says fried ice cream still baffles me. Does it seem like it should be possible? Yeah, yeah, me too. Danny says the worm eggs are laid on the silks of corn. The earlier, the less worms are on the silks.
Okay.
Okay.
I knew it was something like that. I mean, it's because there's a reason.
J. Pill, don't know what okra is here in the UK.
Hey, J. Pill don't know what okra is? Golly, J. Pill, we'll have to ship you some or something.
No, is it allowed for international?
Well, I mean, you couldn't ship it. I mean, but I'm sure they got okra over there you could buy.
Maybe at a farmer's market, like at a, what do you call it? Like, I guess a cultural type farmer's market. You know, where they'll have like a Chinese section.
Yeah,
and,
Asian section.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
section. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know, I don't know what section it'd be in, but yeah, J. Pill, we got to get you some okra.
It's an acquired deal, J. Pill.
No, they would like it over there.
It's an acquired taste.
They would like it. Stan says Twinkies and cockroaches can survive a nuclear bomb. Yeah. Yeah, because I was watching a zombie movie one time or something, and they found a whole truckload of Twinkies, and they had been expired, I think, for 2 years. And they opened them up, and they're like, oh, they taste fresh. That reminded me of that. We've got Derek on. Derek says, on our farm, when the watermelons come off, 400 plus acres,
Woo.
we turn around and plant corn and harvest in November, December here in South Georgia.
Oh, wow.
So he's got a lake
But
crop.
now, Derek, I'm sure, and I'm not against it, and I don't care. I'm not one of these people like, oh, no, I can't do that. Are you spraying it for worms or something? I feel like you about have to.
The corn, yeah. To make it last till November.
No, worms, to keep the worms out of the cob.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Danny's talking about, spraying it maybe when it's in the silk or something.
Yeah.
So let us know if you have to spray that, or is it just naturally not?
It's Me says, enjoy the videos different in terms. We set tobacco, tomatoes, and sweet potatoes. Y'all plant them and same results. And they say good night.
Good night.
Paul says, I've had okra in a lot of Indian dishes. Should try bindi masala sometime if you get the chance. So J Pills, maybe some Indian, like, I don't know if it's going to be an Indian store or like not flea market, but farmer's market. They might can find some okra there.
Yeah, we may have a new corn to try next year.
Tim says, down here they plant sweet corn from February until July. Of course, it is tens of thousands, and they spray it with planes once a day and twice a day if it rains. I know they get 2 crops of corn per year. So yeah, that big operation.
I kind of felt like, I mean, and I guess I should have said just a minute ago, I said, if you were down at Danny's, you wouldn't want to plant it right now. I should have said, you can. It's just going to have a lot of worms in it.
Tim says, down here they plant, I already read that one. Scott Hanks says, sorry to hear about Scott passing, praying for the family.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah. Gary Talbush is on.
Hey, Gary.
Says, hey, my friend, after our email this past week, I decided to not replant my corn. I'm going to keep what I got.
I'm glad you're on here because that's the subject we were talking about.
Maybe need to put up an uglier scarecrow. Thanks for the help. God bless you guys.
You're welcome. I pretty much told him in an email, I said, well, Gary, if you don't replant it, if you don't mind cutting out the worm that's going to be in the cob, then by all means replant it,
I don't know, because when we do corn every year, there's always one at the top. Because I take a big knife and chop the tips off,
but you
so
don't
that way
have
they
that,
don't
it may be some at the top, but you don't have them in that
in
cob
the like
halfway
eating
down.
up the like eating up the kernels and
Yeah,
stuff.
no, I mean like halfway down the cob.
Oh yeah, no.
That's the ones that are just aggravating.
I just chop that top off so that way if they're in that silk,
Yeah.
they're already off and they're not on my hand when I take the husk off. Good night, David. David Waldrop says good
night, David.
and have a good week. And so does Pat Doka.
Hey Pat, good
And
night.
Warhurst says, Lino, can you please explain how you can okra? I just use a ball. I use the ball book, and I don't put them whole in there. I do cut them like
Like you gonna fry them.
yeah, like I was gonna fry them. And I mean, you just put them in there, and I do add water and salt. And I don't remember it's kind of a long can. And it does turn them some brown. You know, it doesn't look as beautiful as, like say frozen okra, but it still tastes the same. It's not tough or anything. Now the thing about it is after you can them, they're so tender that you don't want to mix it. So what I do is I just take the can and put it in a saucepan and add some water, butter, and I don't stir it at all.
Yeah.
And I just cook it to get the water out, cook it down, and then I just scoop it out when it's ready to be served. So don't stir it or it's just going to be
It's gonna fall apart.
It's going to look like chopped okra. But yeah, look for a ball book and it'll have the time on there. I don't remember. I think it was a pretty long can though.
Yeah.
And at 10 pounds of pressure. But
And that's
I don't
always
remember.
I wish I could can more corn, and I try to can my corn at the very, very bottom end of the 10 pounds of pressure, and the jiggler is just barely jiggling, and it's not jiggling all the time, it's just jiggling every once in a little bit, and it still tastes as scorched sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's got a overheated taste.
Yeah.
But I guess it's that sugar in it. It's got to be that sugar.
I do not. Yeah, I have not found that canning corn.
Canning sweet corn.
Any corn.
Well,
I mean, we haven't.
We hadn't canned.
I know,
like
but
the Hastings.
yeah,
I think
it always
different.
tastes overcooked, like
Yeah.
almost chewy, and I don't like that. And so I always want to cut it off the cob, blanch it, and freeze it. That's my way of doing corn. Let's see. Janice says good night.
Good night, Janice.
Shane says, sorry I'm late, wanted my view to show up. Hey, Shane. Mr. Hawk Joe says hello and good night at the same time. I'm late.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And Cam441 says, howdy y'all, garden is looking great and videos are awesome. I missed the story on the Super A. Is that one of the boys or yours? God bless from the Rutherford County, North Carolina.
Oh, you're welcome. That Super A is a video on it last August. That is a donation from Stan from the channel, and it's Sammy's. It's Sammy's, and he ain't drove it much, and I end up driving it, and so it looks like mine. And I was just thinking about that tonight when I was cultivating some, and I was like, man. And so I said something to Sammy. He's like, no, not yet. And I said, okay. And so, guys, it's not mine. And Sammy gets older, he'll appreciate it more because, Lord of mercy, how many of us at 15 years old did we really appreciate the things?
We didn't, no.
We didn't realize what they were.
And you need to remember that too, instead of, like you automatically want to say, I'm trying to instill in you what you should value. But I'm sure somebody tried to instill in us something when you're at that age,
Yeah.
What do they say? Youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah. It's his. It'll be here, for him. So it's his.
Danny says we have a method of canning that you could still fry afterwards, and I remember him saying something about that, about canning it and then you can fry it afterwards.
I forgot what it was. Actually, I think he made a video on it.
Okay, I'll have to look that up. And Derek says we spray if stink bug pressure or worm pressure is high, but it comes in bursts of hatchings. We can grow 2 crops of field corn a year.
Okay, so he is spraying a little bit. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Shane says, finish my potatoes today.
And again, nothing wrong with that.
Spraying.
I'm not. It is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not one of those that just goes crazy about that.
And Shane says they finished my potatoes today, 620 pounds.
Ooh, good gracious.
Sundowner says okra is your most expensive crop because it makes till the first frost. And it does. But hey, my mulch tomato plant, it made till the first frost too.
It made after the first frost.
No, it didn't. It killed them.
Not the first one.
Yes, it did.
I thought it
Because
just
I
did 'em
went.
a little bit.
It was late October. I went and got 4 big, beautiful tomatoes off of it, and I had to go say goodbye to it because I knew what was coming. That and my vincas. You know, it's a whole depressing time for me. So I was like, you know, bye my beautiful secret garden tomato plant and my vincas that have, you know, gone crazy.
Well, it's got 3 of his youngins over
Yeah,
there.
I did. I saved seed from that. I did the whole fermenting and drying of seeds, and so I've got enough seed probably for good, I don't know, 50 plants.
And you did
if I
all of
wanted.
that. You did all of that, and then 2 of them just come up naturally in the mulch.
Yeah. So that plant's just a rock star. It can't help it, you know. It was like, you don't need to save our seeds. We take care of ourselves down here in the mulch. So they're coming up again, and we're just leaving them. So anybody who sees the front of my house, don't judge me with my here and there produce just growing randomly. Stan says, do canned chow chow or sweet Cumberland salad.
Yeah,
I never heard
I've
of
never
any
been
of
a
that.
chow chow fan.
I don't know what chow chow is.
It's like
sounds like dog food.
It can be accused of it. It seems like it's a lot of different vegetables chopped up and kind of sauerkrauted out, kind of tangy taste.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like that.
Yeah, it's a hodgepodge of stuff. I think it's just been a while since I've actually seen chow chow.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know what that was.
Yeah, it's been around. That's a southern staple, chow chow. Oh. Been made for years and years and years.
Derek says under irrigation we average about 260 bushels to the acre.
Woo!
And Ward Herstead says so okra is like really slimy, mushy peas.
I tell you what amazes me about the sweet corn harvest. I'm amazed how they get it off that stalk without just bruising it all to pieces. And what was that over there?
Just some things hit the shed.
Oh.
Like it could have been a bat on the backside.
Well, it probably was.
But anyways, it's 9:42.
It is, guys. Well, thank y'all for hanging out with us tonight, and appreciate everybody, and hope y'all. I guess I better get up here. Boy, I'm about to fall. I'm about to go back here in the chair.
Oh my goodness! No, it's too late for that kind of stuff going on.
Y'all have a good week, a good day, and thank you so much again for being here. God bless y'all. We'll see you.
Bye. Y'all have a good week.
Got my glasses now, Lena.
Yeah, can you see the button?
Yeah, I can see it. Unless I ain't cut it off yet. Here we go.